everybody doing? Good morning. It's Miss Ward coming from rainy South Florida this morning. So here's a little wet, but I'm still going to get it. So we're in midweek status. It's been a learning experience to say the least. But just like the ad says and the PBA, what is that called? Public service announcement. PSA, it gets better. Sorry about the video being so dark. I guess it's just the lighting in the truck. But I want to talk this morning about relaxing into complacency. I have people I work with and they want to have fun, they want to do this, they want to do that, and that's wonderful, but I'm one of those people, that's going to be there because I feel like you have windows of opportunity, and I'm not saying you got to grind your whole life or you can't have some type of recreation, but I think that you need to keep your eyes on the ball and have a plan. See, the difference in working with people who go to work and people who are business owners and trying to grow the business. And when I say grow the business, I feel like that's misunderstood sometimes, because in growing the business, a lot of times you're the goal is to put systems in place so you can relax some constraints on yourself personally and focus on other areas of growth, personally, professionally, business-wise, emotionally. Because at the end of the day, when you are the pushing force or the driving force, you need to be able to remove yourself, and it needs to go on some sort of autopilot. And I think that people misunderstand, because a lot of people are ego driven. It's about me, I created this, I built this, I own that. And at the end of the day, in my world, I really don't want nobody to know. People ask me, I try to be humble and I tell the truth, but a lot of times I don't want to tell them I'm the owner, because then I got a whole nother set of questions. First, I'm dealing with the fact that I'm female in a mechanical field, which in 2020, it appalls me that people just don't think women can do this shit. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, what are you, a Neanderthal? Like, prime example, I was taking care of a GE dryer. And the dryer was a gas dryer, and the customer didn't know, And it's funny to me because I remember this guy in the Facebook group posted where he was somewhere and he couldn't convince the customer that it was gas. So as I began to disassemble it, the guy was looking at me like, you know what you're doing, da-da-da. And of course, my apprentice is there handing me tools, da-da-da. And I'm knocking this stuff out because, you can do dryers. It's like the easiest thing. You can do that in your damn sleep. They're all built the dang same. So, of course, you pull the dryer apart. You got to pull the drum out. The reason I was doing this because there was a noise that happened only after it heated up. And it actually was the bearing in the motor. And the bearing in the motor, once it got to a certain speed, it started making a roaring sound. So, of course, I did a proper inspection by checking all the roller bearings, the tensioner pulley, all that stuff, all those other places noise could come from. And, of course, this particular model has those doggone bearing slides up front. But none of those noises came from that. It definitely was an issue that was in the motor. So, this guy's asking me, can I spray WD-40 and stuff on it? Now, mind you, this is sealed and it's a sealed bearing, so there's no way to lubricate it. So I had to have the conversation about cars with him, about, okay, you have ball joints on a car, you have suspension, and the man's like 9 million years old. And I'm like, look, Neanderthal, back in the day, you could go get an oil change, you could lube the front end. So you had lube points. You had grease fittings where you could take a grease gun, lube it, and that would help as far as the ride and the longevity of those ball and socket type parts. I said, now when you get a new car, all that stuff is sealed, so there's no way to lube it. Okay? I explained to him about bearings, how back in the day, you used to have trucks where you had an inner and outer bearing, and a race, and you could pack the bearings, da-da-da. Well, guess what, buddy? This is sealed. So as I broke this down to him and went on to explain and pull up Google images like my name is instructor of the year. He got the point he was still being an ass, okay? But it's okay though. So, it was just another lesson in me in my 30 years of being in a non-traditional field that some shit just doesn't change. So, anyway, I didn't allow it to deter me, but it just is what it is. And when you understand that, you don't take it personally. You just look at it as another opportunity of growth to remove those triggers. And that's how I looked at it, because I was getting hot. So, as I'm putting it back together and everything, and I explained, and I'm not trying to push the motor on them. I gave them a quote, and the wife wanted me to help her with something with her oven, and she wanted me to go to Google and upload something so she could use Google Voice. I mean, this is what we run into when you go into these places, because they be like, wow, you can fix anything. So not only was I an appliance tech, I was also an networking tech and IT tech and help desk tech, you know what I mean? So I just think it's funny, because so as I'm putting it together, the guy's like, did it all go together? Did you use all the screws? And I wanted to really turn around and knock him out with my little DeWalt drill in one hand and my Milwaukee in the other, and then pulling my Makita on the back end. I mean, come on, dude. But I realized, so his wife was talking to me, and I was like, your husband is getting on my nerves. I mean, how do you do this? How do you do this for so many years? She said, well, my husband was a male chauvinist when I met him, so God blessed him with 3 daughters. I said, ooh, God got a sense of humor. So that's that story. But like I said, it just gives me an opportunity to understand where my points are and where people can jig me in the side and make me react. So that's the work I have to do. And that's really how you have to look at those situations. So anyway, and that was my last call of the day. And I thought it was funny because it was a call that I didn't have to take. It was late in the day. But I'm just one of those people that when opportunity knocks, you go grab it. And in order to get to the call, it was like a 45-minute drive. And my apprentice is looking at me, and I'm like, I wish you would. Because his little butt had overslept that morning. So I had to ride out by myself. And between me and you, I always prefer solo. Because there's so many wonderful things I can discuss in my own world and my own space. And then I like to have my little seminar going. I can catch on my audible.com. Anything that I'm missing, I can just put it on the screen and I can listen and learn while that's just how I'm built. So when I'm in environments with other people, then I got to compromise and share my space. And I'm just not trying to share nothing. Because my time is so valuable to me, so I really try to take every inch of time, every millisecond, not necessarily plan it, but treasure it. Even if I don't want to do nothing, that's my choice. But I can always be growing. I don't want to be riding in the truck listening to, Miss, I'm going to just say it, I don't really get Punani Fairy by Jeannie Annette or whatever her name is. And I'm not knocking these young people in their music because every generation has their thing. I'm just saying I'm not really trying to listen to all that because it's really not making me no money. Now, if it was making me some money, I might even be on the pole. You never know. Hey, I'm not knocking nobody hustle. But at the end of the day, I know y'all got to chuck out of that because y'all know I don't have good sense, but it's okay. I chuckle through life. I face the things entrepreneurs in the world face. I face the obstacles and things that I face because of the package I am in and what I represent and the preconceived notions of people. But it doesn't bother me because I'm on mine, baby. And then on top of that, y'all, let me tell you, then I had some fool call me, text me in the morning and say something to me about, did I know anybody hiring a manager? And so I didn't respond because I really didn't like him anyway. And I figured I'd get to it when I get to it. So I'm out here trying to get this money hustle. This dude sends me a text later in his feelings talking about, I was there for you. I said, you know what? It must be that time of the year for him. So I pick up the phone because by this time I'm irritated. And this is what I mean about your triggers. That just let me know the work I needed to do. The fact that it even got under my skin. So I pick up the phone. He's like, oh, I got your attention. I said, no, what you did was piss me off. I said, how dare you? I said, I'm out here with clients. I'm trying to build my business, da-da-da. And then he goes into this thing, and I said, you know what? I can't say what I want to say because if I did, it would be a political uproar. But there's a community, and we have a word for W tiers, and I'm not going to say anything else. And you can imagine who this person is and what group he represents. And because times are hard, now he's losing his mind. Well, there are some of us where times have always been difficult, and we've always had obstacles. And it's just life, and we're built for that. And the fact that you're 6 feet above ground, you always have an opportunity. And we always go through. People say you go through hard times. I don't think you really go through hard times. I believe you go through times that give you an opportunity to make different choices and change your development in the path and process of your life. And I think there's nothing better than having an opportunity to be better and to grow. But that thing pissed me off so bad, y'all. I thought I was gonna have to. Ooh, I was about to catch a case. So then I had to proceed to block and all this, because you know when somebody in their feelings when they send you a text. My apprentice had to explain that to me, talking about when a man send you a 2-page text, they're in their feelings. I said, well, I'm finna block him. He better go talk to his wife and his side piece, because I can't help him anyway. But that just thought that was interesting. But let me get up off him and get back on me. The point that I even picked up the phone to call him, and that I let that, regardless of how exhausted I was, affect me, that means I need some work. I got some work to do, y'all. And Miss Ward always has work because I'm a different type of character. I react differently to different things because of how I was born, how I was developed, the things I was exposed to and wasn't exposed to. So when you realize and own the fact that you're a constant work in progress and continue to work on that, and I'm not saying you need to wake up and be Tony Robbins one day, even though y'all need to be listening to him, because Awaken the Giant Within, all that stuff, all his stuff is good. I'm not taking nothing from that man, not to mention that he built an organization that is unreal. Like, he don't even have to work. That's what I'm talking about. He out here because he want to be. Trust me. So, at the end of the day, understand what you're doing and why. And then constantly correct. Don't beat yourself up. We all going to have some self-negative talk. But don't beat yourself up unnecessarily when it's just an opportunity for growth. And if you got haters around you that's pouring salt, like stepping on your neck and belittling you so they can feel better, you need to correct that. That's a problem. I don't know what y'all be doing, because I'm not going to be able to do it. So anyway, as I run off on my tangent and tell my stories, the one thing I always want to do is be my authentic self. Because I feel like when you pretend and try to be something you're not, people see through that. They ain't trying to hear that. And at the end of the day, we all trying to be better. And so if I can help you in any way or anything I say, regardless to how sideways and weird it sounds, I have no problem. I am committed to that because somebody had to help my silly butt. So, that's weird. I thought it would tell me to turn up. That messed up here. Alright, so I am going to get off the video because this weird stuff going on with my GPS, and if I get lost right now because I can't multitask, yes, a task, and I'm okay with those challenges, then that's on me. So I want everybody to have a phenomenal day, and I want you to be your best self no matter what. It's been phenomenal talking to you guys and sharing. I apologize I haven't been able to upload the last couple of days because my phone was doing its own thing, or I really wasn't cooperating. I try to put everything on the cloud so I don't fill up my phone, and then that way I'm available to do what I'm doing. But work in progress. So get out there and get you. And solid steppers, remember, every step you take is toward wealth. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Get that nest egg. Generational wealth is a way to go. Have a great day.